Welcome to another episode of How I Discovered My Gift with yours truly, David D. Simons. I'm honored to have this wonderful, amazing entrepreneur, Uyi Abraham from Vanza. I'm going to give you a breakdown of his bio, and then we're going to dive in to this episode. I already know, I have a feeling you're going to want to mark this episode. You're going to want to save this episode, keep it on replay, because this brother's got a lot of wisdom and experience to share. So Uyi Abraham is an award-winning business coach, serial entrepreneur, investor, strategist, and a best-selling author. He's an African immigrant, a fellow West African who relocated to America with only $100 in his pocket and a suitcase of clothes. He has been educating people on business and success principles for over 20 years. Despite his humble beginnings, he has attained the entrepreneurial success and is devoted to helping others becoming successful entrepreneurs. He's founder of Vanza, that's VONZA.com. Go check that out. We're going to talk about that. A SaaS company that makes it easy for entrepreneurs to start and grow a profitable online business. He also owner of Higher Place Christian University and Up Level Enterprises, a marketing and consulting service firm. His passion is to help people break the limits and fulfill their life and business dreams. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you, David. Such an honor to be here, and I've been looking forward to coming on the show.
Wonderful. So let's start with the story, right? Like that. I mean, I can relate in a certain degree. I'm a first generation Ghanaian American, but you're coming straight from, it sounds like straight from Nigeria to America. Nothing in your pocket. Well, $100 in your pocket, and building the empire. But take us back to your childhood. What was the gift that you always had, or you knew that you had within you, in your journey to that journey?
Yeah, thank you. This is an awesome question. And again, you're doing a great work on this podcast, and it's such a joy to be here. So I was born and raised in Nigeria. And I think maybe around 6 years old or so, my parents, they separated and divorced. And I started living with my grandmom. So I was raised by my grandma. And in the process of that, I began to notice that I have compassion and empathy to help people. I didn't like seeing people hurt. I didn't like seeing people suffer. I didn't like seeing people being taken advantage of. I even remember being in school. That would be junior college, not college, junior high school, maybe like a middle school or something, I'm the one that will report a teacher to the principal when the teacher was not doing their job, because growing up in Nigeria, many times teachers just don't care. They just don't do what they need to do. Sometimes they don't show up for classes, and there's not a proper accountability structure. Yeah. So I was the one that would just fight for injustice. Didn't like people being treated badly. So I began to notice too that I just had a passion to help women, so I wanted to be a gynecologist so that I can treat and help women feel better. Yeah. So that was kind of my beginning, in terms of consciousness, to knowing that I have a gift to help people, I have a gift to serve people, I have a gift to want, and a joy and a passion to want to see people do better. So from there, I lived with my grandma. Then after a while, I began to notice that God was calling me to come closer to Him, and I rededicated my life to Christ. And then I also got ordained into a ministry. I was a youth pastor, then also a pastor. So then I was doing pastoral work and also going to college to become a medical doctor before coming to America. So I came to America with just $100 on a suitcase of clothes. I knew God's hand was upon my life, so my dream was to be a medical doctor and also to do ministry. And then that was just I wasn't thinking of entrepreneurship at that time. I wanted to do ministry and just being a medical doctor. But coming here, I saw that God had better plans for me, and I'm so glad to follow this plan.
Wow, that's amazing. Now I am curious, knowing a bit about the African dynamics in households. Usually they encourage you to go one way: engineer, lawyer, doctor, accountant. Was it already in your nature to like, hey, I'm kind of like, this is interesting to me, med school, or were you kind of encouraged and prodded towards that direction?
Very good question. I think it was both, but I think there was a lot of, yeah, he's going to be the doctor in the family. He's going to be a medical doctor and go to school and don't hang out with bad people because you're trying to be a doctor and those people, they're not trying to be a doctor. And in all of that family pride growing up in Nigeria.
Right.
And, so my family, my parents, they wanted me to do that. They were very proud of me. And when I decided to switch from medicine, in fact, at this point, I just kind of stopped. I just dropped and I would just focus on ministry and also trying to do some business here and there. It really, really fractured my relationship with my dad for many years because he was just kind of disappointed, feeling like I just left something so credible as being a doctor to now try to do ministry and do entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So it really kind of caused some frictions. Even until today, my parents still talk about, even though I'm a doctorate, I have a doctorate now, even today my parents still talk about, oh yeah, you got a doctorate, but it's not medical doctor. I'm like, yeah, I know. You African people, just slow it down now, So yeah, it's been like that.
That's interesting. Okay, so take us through now. Like, how did you get to the entrepreneur? Right, like, so you come here, you're going to be in. Probably this plan was still to do medical school, I imagine, when you came to the U.S.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, something shifts, something switches, and take us through. I don't want us to shy away from, because there's a journey to get to the level that you're at today, producing tens of millions of dollars. You had to go through some stuff. Can you share about the journey, the process of development that you had to go through in this journey from starting with $100 in your pocket?
Yeah, so $100 suitcase of clothes. I lived with my dad for a few months, but after a while, when I decided to, quit school and go to ministry and entrepreneurship, it kind of caused friction. So it kind of ended up in a situation where I became homeless. So I had to, sleep in a car, sleep on friends' houses, couches, different places until I was able to, find a job at a movie theater. And I think I was making about $6 and some change an hour. And from there, God gave me favor. I had a friend that was able to share a room with me. So I went half into a one-bedroom apartment. I would sleep. He was generous enough to give me the bedroom and a foam on the floor, mattress on the floor, and he slept on the couch in the living room. So we did that for maybe a year until, God just began to, take me from one place to the other. But the way I got into entrepreneurship it was really when I got married. So I got married and I began to notice that the highest paying job I got was like $12, $14 an hour, $12 an hour, and then one day I just realized that $12 an hour, that's not going to be enough to help me to fulfill the call of God on my life and to live the life I want to live. And so what I need to do is to have a business. So the way it happens was that a friend of mine gave me, on my birthday, he gave me a website template. That was in 2004 to build a website. Say, hey, I don't have a gift for you, but here's a website template. You can, learn how to build it yourself and you can build it for your church. So I was like, okay, that was good. So I got a website template and I was able to learn it. And, he didn't teach me. He doesn't have patience to teach anything. He just gave it to me and said, you go figure it out. So I figured out the template and I built the first website for myself. And that's where I had my light bulb moment. And I said, okay, if I could build this for myself, there are other people, churches, organizations, ministries, and businesses that also need websites as well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to charge $400 per website. So if I could build 10 a month or get 10 clients a month, that'd be $4,000. So David, my biggest goal in life at that time was, God, if you can just help me make $4,000 a month, I will be rich, And so that was how I started building websites. Then people started coming to me. I'm like, and they're like, okay, website is good. Can you also, we need photography for our website, a photo for our website. We need business card for our website. So I went from building websites, So learning photography, learning videography, learning graphics. So I'm just pretty much like an all-in-one, just doing all these multiple things to serve my clients, but also make enough money for myself. But the money was just kind of up and down, learning and making mistakes and growing and stuff. And it was around 2010 when we launched our university. That was when things just begin to kind of go up and up in terms of entrepreneurship. And then 2019 we started working on Vonza, and then those two collision were just like big blessing. Yeah.
Oh wow. And yeah, we're gonna get into all of those too. I just want to take it back a moment. So back in Nigeria and back when you first got to the US, what would you say when you identify and you look back, what was your gift, and what is your gift? And when you break it all the way down, when you think about what gift God has given you, and obviously you have multiple gifts, but when you classify yourself, what would you say your gift is from God?
I would say my gifts is in helps and serving, right? Because sometimes people overlook those gifts. Of course, I have some spiritual gifts like gift of the word of wisdom and gift of prophecy and all of that stuff, but also to the gifts that I would say have really helped me to succeed in ministry is the ministry of helps, the gift of helps, right? People relegate it in the church to just being an usher or being a greeter, but gifts of helps mean that innate gift and ability to want to help people, to want to solve problems, right? So the way it worked for me was a combination of that and me solving my own problems, right? Every business I've ever started, at least the ones that did well, because some of them failed along the way, right? Every business I've ever started was because I solved my personal pain and my personal problem. I needed a website, and I built my first website for myself. And then I was like, wow, there will be other people who need a website too. Let me build for them as well. That's how I got into web design. The same thing with photography, with videography. The university, my wife finished a master's degree, set us back $54,000 in student loan debt. She couldn't find a job. She couldn't really get any good paying, thing come out of it. And I'm like, okay, that's a pain I have. I'm not the only one who don't want to spend years in school, can't get no good paying job, and still have big student loan debt. There gotta be a better way. That's why I started Higher Place Christian University. Yeah. With Vonza, I was using so many different tools to run my businesses online. I was using one platform for my website, one platform for my email, one platform for my online courses, and I was using at least 10 different tools. And I feel like that was insanity. There gotta be a better, easier, and simpler way for an entrepreneur to run their business online by using one good tool instead of using 12 scattered tools. My personal pain was what led me to Vonza. So my formula, and that's what I also teach my coaching clients as well, is that many times, people are praying and asking God to show them their gifts, to show them their, calling and passion. Sometimes just listen to your own life, right? Your gift is something that might be your struggle or your pain or your disappointment or your frustration. If you can just look at your own life and say, what frustrates me? What excites me sometimes? Or what is that thing I want to solve? What will that thing I want to help people achieve? Because it's not about you now. What can I help other people achieve that will bring value to them? And when you look at it like that, you're going to see that it's just so easy for you to connect with the gift of God on your life.
Wow, brother. That is so powerful. The way you put that is, it's looking at your own life, seeing your own problems and starting there. I've never heard it like that before.
Yeah, it's the best place to start, because every time we have frustrations, right? I'm sure Steve Jobs was frustrated with having a bunch of packs of CDs, right, when he's traveling. And like, why can't it just be one simple device where I can have all my songs in the palm of my hand instead of having a stack of CDs, right? So looking at our lives, our personal pain, our frustration, what we need, the people, one way to start a good restaurant, you frustrate every time you go to a restaurant, they don't season it well, it doesn't always taste good to you. You always go there and you feel like you could do better. That can be a sign that is your thing, or that's your calling, or that's what your assignment is from God, right? So that's what I've worked for me. I've never, the few businesses I started that was not direct pain, or that was just for the money hustle, I had to sell or close it down. But the ones that were personal pain I had, because of passion, so it's not about the money. And that's why people quit sometimes in business, because when the money is funny, they quit because it was about the money for them. But it's about your purpose, your calling, and your passion. You're not gonna quit.
That's good. That's good. Wow, brother, you are dropping some gems, my friend. So take us now into a Higher Place Christian University and how this all comes about. And I also want to underscore something that a lot of people don't really talk about in podcasts a lot of times is I would love for you to tell about what it took as far as the craft of the amount of time and effort you had to develop to become this web developer, to become this SaaS guy, to become all these things, because there's a lot of work hidden in the dark that nobody saw that you put in to get to this level of building these companies. So if you could speak about that and then transition into that first business. I mean, not first business, the Higher Place University.
Yeah, so, work is very, very important, and it's sad that so many online gurus, quote and unquote, now is pushing this chillpreneur lifestyle where you don't have to do a thing, and passive income. There's nothing really passive. There's no passive income. Is an irony, is a fallacy. Is you got to put in the work and then maybe you automate it, but it's not passive, because if you stop automating it, if you stop making it better or refining it, then it's going to dry. The well is going to dry up, right? So it took a lot of work. Like when we started in university, for example, and there was a lot of bottlenecks, because not every state you could register a Christian university, so that was a big hustle. So I had to relocate, partly because I was living in Texas at a time, which was made this so difficult to register a Christian university. I have to move to a different state that would give me the proximity to do that. So there was a lot of.
In the Bible Belt, it should have been easy in the Bible Belt.
Exactly. But Texas, they have a lot of regulations, and you have to get certain type of this and that on the order. But there were some states like Florida that is also part of the. It's not technically Bible Belt, but it's also very pro-Christian values and stuff. So and some other ones, Colorado and those. So these are states that are very pro-Christian, religious-based education. So I had to physically relocate to one of those friendly states to set it up, putting the staff together, putting all the, initially, putting all the curriculums and all of the classes before we started making money, to now hiring professors and teachers and instructors. So it was a lot of work. But one of the things that helped me was that, there's a scripture that said Jesus, seeing the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross, right? So for me, when I saw that this was going to give hope to many people, and not only would they now have to be in student loan debt, which is never forgiven, right? You have to pay it no matter what. Not only that, but also too that Mass University will give others a second chance at education. The 40, 50, 60-year-old people that want to still earn a degree to their name, they don't want to go spend 5 years in college and then these thousands of dollars of debt. But with our school, they can get fast-track, affordable, and flexible education that they'll be proud of. So those are the things that really encourage me to not stop and to keep my eyes on the prize. And since 2010, Higher Place Christian University, I've graduated over 7,000 students from our degree programs to our courses, and our students have generated over $5 billion in sales. There are two guys that have gone through our school that have already generated $1 billion each in their own respective
What?
places. Yeah, in sales. Sorry, $1 billion. The other guy has made is in oil and gas. He have closed over 2 billion in sales. Then one guy 1 billion, another guy 1 billion. Then altogether it's over 5 billion in sales that's been generated by our alumni and students. And beyond that is the thousands of lives that have been changed. There are people that got degrees from our school that have given up on education, that would never have gone back to traditional school. So just to see all those lives change because I said yes, and because I was willing to walk through that. So and not only that, I've been at university, I've totally changed my life. I would not be where I am today if I didn't say yes to that. So it's always good that people pay attention to the promptings of God. Solve your own problems. When you solve your problem, you'll be amazed that there are thousands and sometimes millions of other people that share the same pain, and they'll be so happy to pay you for solving the pain for yourself and for them.
That's remarkable, brother. Wow. So we'll definitely have to plug the link for people that can come to. Can they join virtually?
Yeah.
And take.
Okay.
They can.
Yeah.
You have virtual.
Yeah. So we were running a campus and virtual classes, but when COVID hit, we shut down our campus. We saw that it was even easier, David, to run an online school than to run a campus and online together. So we've not had campus classes since COVID. So right now we're 100% online and virtually. So anybody in Ghana, Nigeria, USA, anybody, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can join and take classes online.
Oh, that's awesome. And is there a particular focus for or there's all different types of I know you have different types of disciplines for the different tracks that people want to go and study?
Yes, very good question. So we have about 33 degrees right now, but our main area is in three faculties. Is in ministry, is in leadership, and is in entrepreneurship. So ministry, leadership, entrepreneurship is our core three focus. So if anybody's listening and you want to earn a degree in the area of ministry, leadership, entrepreneurship, our school is a good one. And we also confer honorary doctorates too. Maybe I could nominate you if that's of interest to you for an honorary doctorate degree. So we do offer that to certain people like yourself who are doing great work for the kingdom.
Oh my goodness. That's one thing I've been telling my dad. He's like, go get your PhD. I'm like, Dad, I think it'd be better honored to be getting an honorary degree than it is to get a actual doctorate. And he's like, oh my God, wow, I'd be humbled by that, brother. But take us into with the I know time is short. Take us into Vanza, which I have had. I think I mentioned it to you. A brother that his name is off the top of my head, but he was raving about your platform, and he got me into it and learning about what you guys do. And sorry,
Bruce Hill.
Yes. Yes, he's raving. So, and I got to see. I was like, wow, this is excellent. And then when I found out it was owned by first a black, I knew it was a black person. Then I found out it was a fellow African. I was just overjoyed, man. So I don't think people understand how big and challenging it is to build a SaaS software that works. And not only works for people from a UI UX standpoint, from a back end standpoint, and it takes off. So if you could just speak about how you've got the successful university, you could have just parked right there and said, hey, I'm good. But obviously, your gift of helping people wouldn't allow you to just stop.
Exactly. The gift of helping people would not allow me to stop. Wow, you just said something so powerful. I don't know if you, because I may have been thinking about it, but I've never really just kind of articulated it in a way from my own mouth. The gift of helping people, that's a big gift right there. That's something big, right? So like I said earlier, so with Vanza, so even for our school, we're using all these different software to run it, and it was just frustrating and overwhelming to have all these multiple platforms. I was spending over $1,000 a month on software. Then I have technical people, and the software doesn't always talk well with each other, and they break, and it was just a nightmare. But so what we did with Vonza was to just bring together 10 plus essential tools for anybody to run their business online. You want to run a business online, go to the website. Vonza does it for you. You're going to want to sell online courses to teach your knowledge, right? To help people through your knowledge. That's why I have courses too. Vonza does that for you. You want to sell your physical product. Maybe you have a book or a t-shirt, or your digital product, maybe your ebook. Vonza does it for you. What about forms to take survey or take payments? Vonza does it for you. Vonza also takes care of your payments and serve your customers and helps you to simplify and automate your your online business, right? Even scheduling. I don't know what tool you use for your scheduling. Some of the popular ones are like Calendly and all the other one. Vonza does it for you. And also too, David, we are saving entrepreneurs. Not only are we making them money or helping them make money, we're also saving them thousands of dollars a year, because they're only paying for one tool instead of paying for 12 tools. So that's more savings for themselves, their family, and money they can put into the economy as well. And here's my favorite part about Vonza. Vonza is so easy and simple to use, because even though I'm in tech, I don't like confusing or difficult tech products. So always making sure it's simple and easy to use. And so far we have thousands of entrepreneurs and creators that are using Vonza every single day in over 40 countries. See, when you say yes to God, God will bring people from far and near that you never thought possible. Over 40 entrepreneurs from over 40 countries currently using Vonza right now.
Amazing. We'll make sure we plug that in the show notes. Vonza, VONZA.com.
Yes.
Subscribe, get plugged in, and save yourself some money. I know your time is precious. Do you have time for 2 more questions?
Yes, let's do 2 more questions. I can do.
Okay, great. So I've got to ask. I know my listeners always ask about monetization. So take us into, and I know you're doing some amazing things. By the time they see this, I know you have something in October, I believe.
August.
Or is it
Yes, we have
August?
I don't know what one is coming up, but August 19 and 20, we're having a 2-day mastermind in Atlanta. We just opened a new creator studio for where creators can come and record their content and stuff, masterminds, events. So we're having a 2-day mastermind in Atlanta. If anybody's listening and is out before then, hey, buy that flight. So if you're in Atlanta, come right to the mastermind. It's going to really help you. Our goal is to help everybody there to teach them how to build a $1 million business in 2 days. And we've done it before, and it's going to be awesome. Then in October, we're having our next commencement ceremony for Higher Place Christian University. So we're also going to be giving a few honorary doctorates on that day as well.
Amazing. So you've done this. So now, if you were to give advice to a young person listening, going back, they finding their gift, maybe they have a similar gift to help people, how would you help them to take that gift and monetize it like you've been able to do, and flourish with their gift monetarily as well?
So the first thing I'll say is that get a mentor or a coach. Don't try to do it on your own. I think for me, if I had the right mentor or coach, I would have been successful 5 years before I did, and I would have been 5 years greater than I am today. Right? Wow. People think it's a cliche. It's not, because you're trying to figure everything on your own. You're going to take a lot of time and failures to figure it out. But if you just plug into a coach or mentor that's already done something you want to do, or that's an inspiration to you, someone that is successful in area that is of interest to you, right? You can just learn from them. They can give you the shortcuts. They can give you the playbook, and the blueprint. Right, you will be successful faster. So that's the number one thing. The number two, I'll say you gotta, your mentor also to help you to build your confidence up, right? Because money comes, the more confident you are in your God-given abilities, the more you're gonna charge, and the more the right clients are gonna come. The number three, I'll say don't stop, right? I failed in over 13 businesses before I made my first $1 million, right? So going from that to now, we are our network is about $25 million, and it wasn't a rosy road, right? There were some failures and bumps along the way, but I just never stopped. Right? I just kept pushing every day. There's a scripture that says, when the cloud is full of rain, they empty themselves on the field. And so now the cloud is full and is emptying themselves on the field. So don't stop, don't give up, get a coach and work on your confidence.
Wow, I love that, brother. The final question that we ask all guests, and you weren't prepped on this, nobody ever is. The question is, what's the difference between one's gift and one's purpose? One's gift.
Whew. I see. That's a bad question right there. That's a cold question right there. One's gift and one's purpose. Okay, let's go with my definition. Your purpose is what you were born to do. That's what God put you on this earth to do. That's your purpose. But your gift is not your purpose. Your gifts are the special abilities that God puts in you to help you to actualize your purpose. So your gifts and purpose, they go together. They are never in confusion with each other. So God gave you a purpose. My purpose is to be a minister of God and an entrepreneur. But then gave me gifts like wisdom, gift of helps, and gift of solving problems, so that to help me to actualize my purpose. So your gifts help you to fulfill your purpose, but your purpose is what we are put on this earth to be.
Wow, well stated, brother. Well stated. Well, Dr. Uyi, thank you so much for being on the show. We're gonna plug all the notes. I just want to recap. Right, we're gonna send them to Vanza.com.
Yes.
We'll get the website for Higher Place Christian University.
Yes.
What's the web domain for the meetup?
So it's millions with a S. Millionssummit.com.
Millionsummit.com.
Yes. Then I'll send it to your IG. I'll send the websites. Yeah.
Excellent, brother. Excellent. Thank you so much for blessing us today, brother. I truly appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. God bless you. Talk to you soon.